Well, I work on B side where I work about 8 hours on this side, and then we have a small garden up at the chapel. A chapel, we turn a lot of our flower beds in the garden. I'll go up there in the evening time and work up there. I'll put 2-3 hours in sometimes up there after I work all day over on B side.
Wow, are you the only one out there, or do you have a help?
I have on B side. I had 2 volunteers help me this year.
That's it. There's it's a very small group that are even getting, because they.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a new program, so people are kind of, well, what do we get out of this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't understand. Ricky does, and you figure you got what, 2,500 people here somewhere in that neighborhood,
2,500.
and out of 2,700 people.
It varies every day.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
I'll say approximately. Okay.
But you figure you got 2,700 people here, and it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
We're growing tomatoes and green peppers, stuff like that. We don't get that in here. That's the difference. Over the years, I mean, it used to be, when I first got locked up, this right here would be a no-no. You're not going up for any interview, because as soon as you walk out there on the yard, you're going to get your head busted.
Yeah.
You mean if in retaliation for talking to a reporter?
For talking to a reporter, talking to the staff, that's a no-no. That's violating prison code. But nowadays it's like, look, the organizations are about this. The garden is helping the community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get people out and let them see what's going on.
Do you see a change in the prison code? Or are you working toward a change in prison code?
Oh,
I think it's changing a lot.
Oh yeah, it's changed a lot over the years. I started out with the old walls.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody was a little secretive thing back there. You didn't talk to people. You didn't talk about anything that went on because they felt you was betraying them if you if you did. So if you wanted to live in peace, you just kind of went along with the program. But since they built these new institutions and stuff, times changed. See, over the time, we was just kind of in stale, and then they started your restorative justice programs, and they started other stuff. And I think it kind of sways the thinking of some of these guys that blame society, because if they can get in there and do something, then they kind of realize once they get involved, they realize that it ain't really all about what somebody did to them. It's what they did to get themselves in here, But if there's nothing for them to get involved in, they just sit out there all day long and do nothing. And that's the worst thing in prison, is having a bunch of guys sitting around with nothing to do. I don't mind